I don't recommend my moves, y'all. They sketchy. Hey y'all, it's your girl Bad Luck Kitty, or you can call me Kitty. Welcome back to my channel. Let's get into it. How much does it cost to move? An inner city move. You can also use this kind of sort of as your move-in fee, like what it will cost you to move into place. So if you are coming new to Merida, this is what I would do. If you are in Merida and you're thinking about moving, this is also kind of a checklist. This is what it cost me. Now, my move is gonna be a little more expensive, but don't worry, I'll go back and break it out, than a typical move if you were going house to house, right? A lot of things to consider. First thing first, the thing to consider is you've already paid double deposit in rent at your current place. And you will be required to pay double deposit or single deposit, whatever your agreement is. You may have an avail, whatever it is, at your next place, okay? So with that being in mind, most of the time you don't get the money back before you move into the next place. So you're gonna kind of be up in the air, quadruple deposits, getting it jumping, right? So let's just keep that in mind, right? So in my case, I'll receive one deposit back, but I will not be factoring that in. I receive one deposit back, and then my other deposit will be going towards my utilities, which will be a water bill and an electric bill. So that's kind of just like, I won't have to worry about closing out any final utilities. So that will be kind of considered in your move wrap up expenses. So I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna kind of like, just not focus on that part, okay? So cost of the move. Yes, some things in my move budget you may feel like you don't need, and if you don't need them, that's okay. But I will do a breakdown for kind of the mandatories, what everyone kind of sort of may spend, okay? So let's get into it. I hired Kiafa for a realtor. That's 300 USD, all right, or 5,100 pesos, all right? So her fee was in USDs, converted 5,100 pesos. Then we went around, looked, shopped, child. It took about 3 weeks total for me to find a place that I really liked. And then I made 1 month's rent deposit. So I sent them 17,000 pesos, 10,000 pesos, okay? Which is about the equivalent of $1,000. All right, so then I had to buy moving supplies and all that other stuff. If you know my story, you know I went on vacation in between moving my last house and this house being ready. So with that in mind, my stuff went into storage, all right? So I spent money on moving supplies, whereas most people probably won't spend money on moving supplies. Because you probably can just take your stuff, and like I know most people just take their stuff and they just throw it into like trash bags and like the boxes and bins that they have, and then they move it. Not really so much spending money on like the actual packing, like we do go to Home Depot, and spend money like that. However, I had to get like some storage bins and things like that to move stuff into the storage, and tape and saran wrap and things like that. So those total expenses came out to $115 or $1,940. Then I had to pay for the movers to move my stuff from my old house to the storage. That was 3,300 pesos, which is the equivalent of 1,094 USD, okay? For the storage, okay, I had to pay 8,880 pesos, right? That's 1 month's rent of 4,440 pesos plus 1 month's rent deposit of 4,400 pesos. Okay, that came out to $522. Yes, I did get the 1 month's deposit back because I was only in the storage for like 28 days or something like that. So I did get the 1 month's rent back, but I'm doing this for upfront costs, and then I'll go back and subtract it on the end. But this is how much I had to come out of pocket up front, okay? So we can get an accurate calculation of that. And just in case you thinking, oh, well, maybe I could do that, or that's an idea, so you'll know kind of like the upfront costs. Again, the storage came out to 522 USD. Then after going on vacation, doing everything, house being ready, we come back from vacation, go to the storage. We start the moving process or whatnot. That night of getting back, I had to pay the rest of the fees, which was another 2 months rent. So I had to pay 1 month's rent and double deposit. I already put one down for the deposit to hold the place, so I owed the other half of the deposit in 1 month's rent. So that was 34,000 pesos, or roughly 2,000 USD. And I also had to pay the notary, which was 5,000 pesos, or the equivalent of $294. And I had to pay for movers to move my things from the storage. That was 2 trips, as well as a trip from moving my plants from my friend's house. Okay, so I think I said total of 3,500 pesos to move from the storage to my house. So then I had to pay a house cleaner. All right, again, this may be considered another one of those unnecessary expenses. I was just coming back from traveling and just packing Long story short, I had somebody come in and clean it to my standard, like, because it was nasty. In my opinion, it was nasty. The first night, we were here, I went ahead and just cleaned the upstairs, the 2 bedrooms we were going to use, my baby's room, my room, the bathrooms, clean those really good. But the rest of the house was like, it was an all no, hell no. So reached out my friends, shout out to Willie and Salama for helping me out. They were nice enough to have asked their cleaner to come, and he scheduled me in like a really early morning clean, and he came through and got it to a livable standard until my housekeeper could come the following Tuesday. So a deep house clean was 600 pesos, or the equivalent of 35 USD. Also had pest control come as well the next day, because the house had been empty. We're in the middle of the jungle. There was a whole lot of creepy crawlies that decided to take up residence here, and so we needed to kind of evict them from the space. So pest control was also 600 pesos, or 35 USD. What does this all come down to? All right, so total out of pocket at that point was 79,920 pesos. Yep. Or in USD, $4,699. Okay, if you need the dollars version of it. It took me a little bit to get my deposit back on the storage, but once I got that back, we're gonna roll that back in, right? And that was $4,440 pesos, sorry. So that's 75,480 pesos. So the total move for me cost $4,438. Okay, $4,438. That's how much it costs for me to move from my house into storage, from storage into the house, and get it clean and pest control. I feel like this is the basics. This is for me, right? For me to move in. Now, one thing that most people may not take in as an expense, the realtor expense. So get rid of the realtor expense. We'll also get rid of the move to storage expense. We'll also get rid of the storage expense, but we'll also keep the also get rid of the house cleaner and pest control, okay? Because that may not be a needed expense. So basic expense. If you had a place that was 17,000 pesos, 1 month's rent would be 17,000 pesos, or 1,000 USD. A double deposit. I know everybody's like, I ain't paying a double deposit, I don't have to, yada yada yada. Okay, cool, that's cool, but for budget's sake, the double deposit, that's 4,000 pesos, or $2,000. The move fee from the movers from the house to house, I'm going to use the first mover amount, which was 3,300 pesos, or 194 US dollars. The notary, we'll just go with my notary. Even though this notary was a little low, we're still gonna go with this notary, okay, for 5,000 pesos. I do know that some notaries can get up into the equivalent of a month's rent, okay? I say shop around for a notary, okay? Shop around for a notary. My situation was unique, so I do know that that's the reason why my notary costs were lower. So I think her regular rate is like 10,000 pesos. Also negotiate with your landlord, possibly that they'll pay half or they'll pay a portion of it, whatever it may be. So yes, I only paid 5,000 pesos. So that's $294. So if you did a basic move in or intercity move, if you have furniture, it will come out to 59,325 pesos or 3,488 US dollars. Okay, that's just how much it is. Also keeping in mind, you probably are moving out of your other place, not having received your deposit back. So you're going to be into it like double deposits in most cases. My landlords went ahead, ran me one of my deposits back. Some people may not see one or both or none of them deposits back at all, right? I know it's sketchy. I know that's the crazy thing. I know that's why some people kind of just don't pay a last month's rent and just kind of sneak out like a thief in the night. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I couldn't do it. I'm too scared to do stuff like that. And I fully believe in karma. So I wouldn't do it. Me, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. Y'all do what y'all feel comfortable with. My movers, I don't recommend my movers. I know a lot of people say, oh, can you recommend? I don't recommend my movers, y'all. They sketchy. They were sketchy. They brought a baby with them. Sis was showing up. It was a husband, wife couple. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They brought a baby. She was wearing wedges. The last day, little buddy was sitting on the ground, on the floor, on the phone, talking about a soccer match and planning out where they was gonna go later. Like, I don't recommend them. There are other recommended services out there. Please check the Facebook groups and ask in the WhatsApp groups or whatever for recommendation. I don't recommend my movers, so please don't feel like I'm gatekeeping because I'm not sharing my mover with you. I just don't recommend them. As far as the notary, I do know I got a discounted price based on my situation. I think her normal price is 10,000 pesos. But with that being in mind, my notary asks for more than most notaries. Just so you know, okay? We'll go with the 10,000 peso number. That is low from what I'm understanding. Right now, a lot of people, they're asking up until a full month's rent. And with that being in mind, she did ask for my RFC. She asked for my CURP. She asked for the front and back of my ID card, my passport information, a photo of my passport. She asked for a proof of income. And when I sent over my proof of income, because it was not a pay stub or an employment verification letter, she then required 3 months bank statement from me. Everybody's like, oh, no, hell no. Listen, y'all, be honest with you, I was not comfortable with it. I didn't feel comfortable revealing that type of information about myself here in Mexico, because, you know, we already know how corruption goes. I mean, there's corruption in the U.S. too, don't get it twisted. But we don't know the channels of document security, and we don't know, you know, kind of the protections there are no protections in place for your personal information here. So revealing my income was already like, but then also revealing my bank statements is when it really got to like the, I don't know, I ain't really feeling all this. But I will say that in the end, the notary also protected me, because not only did she require the fullest amount of transparency from me, she also asked of the landlord. Okay, so do I feel protected? Yes, I do feel protected. I do feel like sis went to bat for me. She was a woman. She went to bat for me. She was very honest with me. She even explained to me, like, she likes to cross her T's and dot her I's, and nowhere else in Mexico is this required. It's only required here in the Yucatan. Okay, and she said, you know, nowhere else would this be required in Mexico. So I don't have her contact number, so I can't share her contact number. I got her through Kiafa. So if you're working with Kiafa and you're comfortable with going through that process or whatever, then please ask Kiafa about her, because this was very thorough. She got everything done. And that's kind of how your notary should be. Oh, she was fully bilingual, English and Spanish. So that was a total bonus. So yes, those are the things to keep in mind. That's how much it costs for me to move. So I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. In addition to the rat tearing up stuff and us having to replace stuff, I ain't got no money. So y'all go ahead and like, subscribe, share this YouTube video. We need to blow it up. We need I don't know, a bajillion views on it, because all my money is going to the cost of moving. I'm playing. All right. Thank you all for watching. As always, you are greatly appreciated. Please leave any comments below. Actually, don't leave any comments below. Some of y'all's comments keep to yourself, because I don't care. And I think y'all feel like, oh, we're just sharing, but I don't care. I hate I always have to put this disclaimer. Some of y'all's opinions are just wild. Just I don't even know if y'all know that y'all are being wild when y'all make but it's just wild. But, you know, if you want to ask any more questions, or, you know, legitimate questions, not criticisms or keeping it real, or just keep that to yourself. But other than that, please comment below, like, subscribe, share, and I will be on the lookout for the next video. My upload schedule is Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Might be throwing a Wednesday night live in. Y'all let me know if that's something y'all want to see. Until the next one, bye.